So in this video, we're just going to be creating a very basic, simple Chrome extension that when the user copies any sort of text in a page they're viewing, we're just going to open up a new tab and search for that text. And so we've given the user some options here. What do we have? We have Google, Start Page, DuckDuckGo, Echo Asia, or Bing. Let's do Echo Asia. We'll select that one. Select some text, Forex and Exchange Markets. We'll do a Control-C. That's our new tab. And we're just searching for that text, Forex and Exchange Markets. It's very simple, very basic, very easy Chrome extension. So if this interests you at all, don't forget to follow our socials, our Twitter and Instagram. We do daily posts there, things we're working on, videos coming down the pipeline. Don't forget to follow that to keep up to date with what we're doing. And with all of that said, let's begin. So I have a basic Chrome extension up and running. If you don't know what that is, I'll have a link in the description box below, or if you're watching on YouTube, there should be a card on the top right. It's a very quick video, 20-25 minutes. If you're not too familiar with web development, that video could be tricky. So if you need something more in-depth, we have courses on Teachable. Use the code NOBJ for a 20% discount on those guys. And so just a basic Chrome extension. This is the manifest file here. Nothing too special. We're going to use the background. There's the pop-up. The only permissions we're going to need are the tabs and all URLs, so we can inject the foreground script into any page the user's viewing. So that's the manifest. Let's take a look at the pop-up. I'm not going to write this for you. It's just basic HTML. Selection box with a button and a way to display. Let me show you. So they click on the little icon, the Chrome extension icon, and it shows this page. They choose the search engine they want. Click select, and when we code for it, it's just going to show their current search engine right here. So that's all the pop-up page is. So for this video, we're just going to concentrate on filling out the background script. We'll get to this in a second. The pop-up script, we're just going to monitor which search engine they choose. And then the foreground script is just going to do the copy and paste work. When they copy, we'll monitor the copying in this file here. And so in the background JS, we just have a way of, let me do this. We just have a way of keeping track of which search engine they've chosen. Or just keeping all the search engines, the possibilities in a search engine object. So this Google, Start Page, DuckDuckGo, Echo Asia, Bing. When they go here, let's do an inspect. So all of those options have a value associated with them right here. And so when we capture which one they've chosen, we're just going to send this value, Google, Start Page, DuckDuckGo, Echo Asia, Bing. We're going to send it back to this file, and then based on which one they've chosen, the value is just going to be the appropriate URL or URI plus the query string related to, associated with the search engine they've chosen. So let's get started with the pop-up script. And so we need two things to happen. When they choose a search engine, they click select. We need to send that message back to the background, so they've selected a search engine. Also, whenever they open this pop-up page, we need the pop-up page to send a message to the back end asking for their current search engine, just so we can display it here as though it's saved on the Chrome extension. So let's get started with that first thing first. So when they click the button, is there an ID or a class for the button? There isn't. All right, so just capture the button like this. Query selector, button, add event listener, click. We don't need the event object. So we're just going to loop through all of the selections and just pick which one has the value selected to be true. So just this. Document, query selector. We'll do all. Let's get all the options for each. We'll do the option. And we're just going to test for if that option.selected is equal to true. That's the one they've chosen. We'll send a message to the backend. So chrome.runtime.send message. Two things. We'll send a message of AGE. Let's do save search engine. Search engine. And the payload is going to be the options value. So the value, yeah, it's the value. There's going to be a response that we get back. We're going to say if that response.message. So if the background successfully saves their value, we'll send a message back to this script. So message of success SUCCESS. And if that's the case, then we're just going to show their search engine here. So two things, document, what was that saved as? This guy right here, search engine choice. Let me just copy this. Control C that. Document, query selector, engine choice, two things, style.opacity. Style.opacity is equal to 1. It starts on, where's the style for that? The opacity starts on 0.3. So let's put it to 1. And we change the inner text value. The HTML. That's going to be equal to the option dot. This guy would be, let's see if it saves it somewhere. Option value, we just need this. We don't want to save the lowercase of these things here. We want the option dot inner text. Option dot inner text like that. All right, so let's go to the back end and listen for this message here. Let me close this background. So let's do a document, not a document, Chrome dot would be runtime dot on message dot add listener, a request coming in the sender, and a way to send a response back. There you go. If that request dot message is equal to, and what do we say? Save search engine. Let's copy that. Save search engine. We're just going to say current search engine is equal to the request dot payload, and we're going to say send response of message SUCCESS. All right, let's see if this works. Save, go back, refresh the extension. Let's choose DuckDuckGo. And we get an error. What's the error? Style of null. Search engine choice. It's a class, right? It is a class. Let's go here. This should be a period here. And a period here. Save. Go back, clear, refresh. All right, DuckDuckGo. There we go, DuckDuckGo. And just so we notice the, check if this guy's getting the payload. Console.log request.payload. So refresh, open to the background page, console it. Let's choose Echo Asia. Select. There we go, Echo Asia, Eco Asia. And before we get to the foreground, and while we're here, let me just check this. So this is how we're going to use the appropriate search engine URL. We're just going to do a search engines, and it's going to be request. Actually, let's do this current search engine like that. Let's go back. Let's do a refresh. Give me the background page. Let's choose Bing. Select Bing. This guy should be the URL. There we go. All right, so that's good. The second thing we need with this page, see how I opened it? We saved it as Bing. It should be showing Bing here and Bing here. So let's go here. So whenever we open this page, I want to send a message, chrome.runtime.send message, and that message is going to be, let's say message get current search engine like that. We'll get a response, and that response is going to be the payload. So we'll just say, what are we going to do? We'll loop through all the options again. So give me this guy right here. We'll loop through all that. So the payload, the payload and the response is going to be the search engine, the value or the key in that object. So we'll just do if response.payload is equal to option like that, option.value. Then we know we have the proper guys. So we can copy this to yank, paste. So that takes care of this text right here. We need to change the value of the selector. And what is the selector? ID search engine. Let me copy this. close this. We'll just do a document query selector ID search engine dot value is equal to, and option dot value, it would be the response dot payload like that. Or you could just use the option dot value. That should work. Let's see if that works. Actually, with the code for that here. Else if request dot message is equal to get current search engine, and we'll just return a payload of current search engine. There we go. Save, go back, refresh. Let's choose start page, select that. There you go. No console. All right, good. This guy should be start page still. Start page, there we go. All right, so it's working. Let me try a different one here. Let's go Google. Select Google, close Google, perfect. All right, so that's good for the pop-up script. That's working as it should. Let's move on to the foreground. So first things first, we need to inject the foreground page into whatever page they're viewing. So we'll do that with this. Chrome, what would it be? Chrome.runtime, chrome.tabs.onUpdated.add listener. And what are we listening for? Add listener. We will get the tab ID. We'll get the change info. And then we'll get the tab, I believe. So before we inject, we'll check some things. So we'll check that it starts with http.test. And we're testing the, what would it be, the tab.url. So if it passes that test, so we can't, if we try and inject a foreground script into this is Chrome code, this is a local URL, it's going to give us an error. So we just need to check that they're actually on a web page like that or that before we inject a foreground. So just avoid that error. So that's what this test is right here. So if they're on a web page, but we want to make sure the web page is fully loaded before we inject our script. So change info.status is equal to complete. Complete. Then we inject our page. So chrome.tabs.execute script tab ID, and we'll inject a file. That file will be .scripts/foreground.js. We'll do a callback function, and we'll just say console.log. The foreground script has been injected. There we go. All right. Chrome tabs unupdated add listener tab ID change info tab. Regular expression testing the URL change info status complete. All right. Let's just check to see if this works. Alert. Do that. There. Save. Let's do this. Refresh. Go here. Let's go to google.com. Get an alert here. And there's no alert. Why is that? What's the error? Execute script is not finding tabs. Execute script. Is that not the correct function? Spelled it wrong. There we go. That should work. Save. Go back. Let's do a refresh. Open this. Let's go to Google. And there we go. Get the alert. All right. So let's write the code that makes it so when we do what should we do? Let's go to bread here. Bread. So we do something like, close that, block that. So we do something like this, do Control C. It'll pop up a new tab and search for this 0.91 seconds close bracket. You can get it on the clipboard. All right, so let's close this. And in our foreground, so we're just going to listen for the event. Document, what would it be? Document to add event listener. And we're going to listen for a copy. That should be it. So when they Control C it or they edit copy it, we're just going to do this. We need to get, what did they copy to the clipboard? We're just going to do a, what it would be navigator clipboard retext. There we go. This is a promise. So we just do a chain like this. Dot then response or res. I do res. That's the thing they copied. So let me just do this so I can show you. Actually, let's do it. Dot catch. Error. Console.log. Error. And for this guy, we'll do a console dot. Actually, we'll do an alert. Alert res and see what we get. So we'll save. Let's go back. Refresh. Let's go to google.com. Let's do this. Control C. Will I get an alert? Yeah. Control C that. We'd allow this web page to see our clipboard. And we get the Google. Google says Google. We can do offered. Click this. Control C. And we get offered right there. So we're successfully capturing what the user is copying to the clipboard. Let's send that back to our background. And our background is just going to open a page that searches with that. The appropriate search engine. So Chrome.runtime. Send message. And two things. The message is going to be search, and the payload is going to be, and let's do it on this end. And so if we search for this, that's cool, right? But what happens if we search for this? These two things. If we send this back to we'll do it on this end. I'm just making a point that we want this because we want to search for, when you search in the bar, you can't do a Google search. Let's say this was /q for query. You can't do this. Let's go bread artisan. So you can't have space in your URLs. And so if the user wants to search for bread space artisan and they want a specific term, like you search in Google like that, right? You'll search for artisan. Search for the specific term bread artisan. That's a different search as compared to this. So we're just going to assume they want to search, if they have more than one word with spaces, that they want to search directly or uniquely just for this string, not just bread and artisan, just bread artisan. So we'll do that here. We'll wrap it here. So the payload's going to be this. That's going to be the res, quote, and quote. So whatever they have there with the spaces, including these quotes. And we'll get a response. Do we need the response, or we need to do anything special here? Yeah, we don't need the response, so we'll just close it like that. All right, so we've sent that to the backend, the search, as well as the term they're searching, or the terms they're searching for. Let's capture it here. We'll just do an else if request.message is equal to search. All right, we'll just create a new tab. First property in their key or property in their for this object would be the URL. Excuse me, not the URL. Active. Say true. Second is the URL. And so the URL is just going to be one of these guys. So whatever the search term is. So we'll do this, and it's going to be this. So search engines, give me the current search engine, whichever one they're using. And these have the equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign. So we just need to append it here. And that would be in the request.payload like that. And that should work. Let's save and give it a try. Refresh, no errors so far. Let's go to Google. All right. Let's choose a search engine. Let's go Echo Asia. Select, good. Still Echo Asia. Let's search for Google on Echo Asia. So Control C, and it opens Echo Asia. Search Q is equal to Google. Let's do one with spaces. So let's do American multinational technology. Control C. Allow the Echo Asia site to read our clipboard. You only need to do this once per site. Allow, and we've searched for the American multinational technology. Let's choose a different engine. Let's go with the start page. Select that. And let's do internet related services. And we'll do one of these guys as well. Cloud computing. Let's go Control C. And there we go. Start page, search, whatever, cloud computing. All right. Any errors? There are no errors. Everything looks good. Did I forget to mention anything? Let me just mention this. This is very basic. You can't put this into production. There are no checks. When we Control-C something in the browser, I'm not sure if you Control-C an image, what would happen? It might blow up. We haven't checked that they're Control-C'ing, they're copying some text. We also haven't checked that this injects the foreground script every time the tab gets updated. That might inject this script more than once. It'll probably inject the script more than once. You have to do a bunch of checks, so just understand that you can't just ship this into production. There are no checks, no escaping strings and all that stuff. But as it stands, it's bare bones, and it all works as it should. All right, so that's going to be it for the video. Leave a like. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one.